Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Affirmation Addict podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about what is going on in the world from a different lens, from a different perspective, in hopes of bringing you some peace, some hope, and some clarity, because I know this can be a super overwhelming time for so many of us, and I don't think it has to be that way. So tune in if this is what you're looking for. You're listening to the Affirmation Addict podcast with Payal Agarwal. This podcast will teach you about the power of affirmations while making manifestation easy and accessible for you in order to enhance your spiritual consciousness. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm so excited to dive into today's episode. Actually, wait, before we get started, I wanted to check with you. Have you heard about my new app? It's called Affirm-It, and it's your one-stop shop for all things affirmations, manifestation, and self-healing. I really have been wanting to create something for you that truly empowers you to realize that you genuinely have everything you need within you. You don't need me. You don't need any other coaches. This app genuinely has everything you need to get that life that you've been trying to manifest. And it has gentle daily reminders, guided audio affirmations, sleep affirmations, affirmation reminders, and so much more good information, good energy, and so many things that I know will help you manifest your dreams. Because I'm so grateful for you, I'm actually offering you a free 7-day trial. And this is a genuine 7-day trial. That means you don't have to type in your credit card. You won't be automatically charged. There's no ads, and you get complete access to the app as if you've already subscribed to it. So if you do want to learn more about the app, head over to affirmation-addict.com/app, or if you're ready to dive in, head over to the iTunes App Store and search for Affirm-It. The Android version will be coming soon, and as soon as it's ready, I'll be sure to let you know. Now we can officially dive into today's episode. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. I have finally been able to get back on the podcast after coming back from India. And oh my gosh, it is so amazing how quickly things can change so fast, so quick, with no warning sometimes. And it's a really beautiful thing to say the way a lot of us as a community and as the entire population are handling this change, because I think there's been so much beauty coming out of it. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, I am referring to the coronavirus, and I'm not going to use those words because obviously that goes against what I really believe in, which is what you focus on is what you get. So if I keep saying those words and if I keep talking about necessarily the virus itself, I don't think that is in alignment with what I really believe in. So I will be talking about just what we're going through during this time and the things that are going on in the world, because I feel like it can be super overwhelming to have so many changes, to have so many news outlets, to have everybody only talking about this. It can feel like you can't escape it. And I completely understand it. So this is just from my heart to yours during this time, a couple of thoughts that I've been having that I really hope are able to help you. And so with everything going on, and I know it's really easy to feel fear, but something that has helped bring me hope is the fact that this is an act of nature, and we're all extensions and parts of nature. And so sometimes it might feel like we're not in control. It might feel like there's something a lot bigger than us that's at stake. But in the end, what it really is just nature doing its duty. And sometimes we need these mass awakenings. Sometimes we need these shifts. Sometimes we need really uncomfortable and scary things to happen in order to wake up. And speaking firsthand, I know that some of my biggest realizations, some of my personal biggest opportunities of growth happened when I was at my lowest, when everything felt like it was falling apart, when things just were not going as planned at all. And so sometimes this happens on a world level. And if you think of mass world awakenings, there's a lot of things that I'm not going to go into, but there's been mass world awakenings where the world has just shifted ever since that event happened. And I really do think that this is a mass world awakening from a really spiritual perspective, because it is forcing so many of us to go inwards, whether that's physically in our homes or just because time is becoming a little bit more of a commodity right now because we're not able to distract ourselves by going to bars and going to restaurants and seeing people and spending time with people. We're not able to just kind of waste our time away. Sometimes we have to think consciously of, what do I want to do? And some of you might even be feeling bored, but boredom is actually such a beautiful thing because that's where the most creative, the best ideas come out of. And I think that's really what's been driving me through this whole time, is that there is so much goodness coming out of it. And the whole part of it that's scary, the fear-based thoughts, the anxiety, those are valid. I'm not asking you not to feel those. I'm not telling you you are wrong in feeling those. I mean, to be super honest, I felt those too. But I'm trying to share with you what helped me when I felt those. And these little nuggets of information were what really helped me in remembering that this is just all part of nature and nothing is happening by accident. Everything is on purpose. Everything is going according to our highest good and according to plan. So I know it might not feel like it. I might sound like a twisted person seeing the positive in this crazy situation. But for me, that's what brings me hope and that's what brings me peace. And I know a lot of you have been searching for some more of that inner peace. And another thing I want to remind you is that when you're in these times of discomfort, change, and just things don't feel like they're going according to plan, that's when we're right one step behind that manifestation happening. That's when we're one step away. We're literally just about to turn the page, and that's where we're trying to go. We're almost at our destination. And I really feel like this is happening on a world level for that reason, because I think it's amazing that this virus has no race, there's no discrimination. Even though technically it's harming the older people the most, the elderly, I do think data supports otherwise as well. So just in terms of as a humanity, as kind of just the human race in general, I do think this is a really good way to have one common thing that we're all working against and bringing us together in a really, really unfortunate way, but it's still bringing us all together. And what I invite you to do is get out of that fear-based thinking. Maybe turn off the news. Maybe stop reading all the case updates and checking the case numbers. And maybe just put your phone away and go on a different app that serves you rather than social media where almost everybody is talking about it. This might be your time to express yourself in a creative way or connect with people through FaceTime, which I know a lot of you guys have already been doing, but really just explore and play and let yourself free. To me, this is like one of those things where we're all being given such an opportunity to choose how we use our time. For some people, they're going to choose to watch Netflix for 15 hours a day and FaceTime their friends all day, which is fine. That is totally fine. But this is also an opportunity to come face forward to the things that you kind of avoid, which is maybe things like journaling and affirmations and digging into your mind and talking to your inner child and reading books and exploring and just expressing yourself creatively. I think this is a really big opportunity to do that. And I don't think everyone is going to do that because I think that still takes a lot of courage, because it is scary to make that shift and say no to even a FaceTime call. I get that that can be hard, but for me, the way I've been doing it is I give myself 2 hours a day to just have no plans and do whatever I want. If that means watch Netflix for those 2 hours, that's what that means. But if that means I just get to play and dance and maybe pick up my paint and try painting something or just express myself and let my emotions out, that has been so healing for me. And that's what I feel is really going on in the world. I feel like nature is trying to show us how to reconnect with ourselves. And for some people, they're not ready yet. And I don't think you can force change upon people. I think people are ready to change when they are ready, and no one can force that. So if you're in the environment where you really want to change and you are so excited to be a little bit more spiritual and practice your affirmations and get in alignment with yourself, but the people around you and your friends aren't, don't feel pressured to pretend like that's not what you want to do. You can create a balance, and don't feel the kind of the judgment that might come up if you're judging other people for maybe you think they're wasting their time or maybe they're taking actions differently. Because the thing is we all deal with things completely differently, and we all have that right to do so. So I really recommend trying to practice non-judgment, because in times of kind of worldwide stress and panic, it is super easy to get to those levels of judgment and violence and hatred and separation. But I think it's such a testament to our growth as a humanity that we have not done that. I don't think it's gotten to that level where people are fighting and angry with each other and violence breaking out, because we are all shifting for the better. And I think that is such a beautiful thing to do, where we're all going forward, moving past what the common kind of enemy is, and thinking of how can we help another? How can I get better so maybe I can help someone else get better? And that's where the ripple effect starts. So to me, this is a really big worldwide lesson of energy and the power of compassion and relationships and what really matters and how you prioritize your time. I think everyone is learning. I think everyone is uncomfortable in this situation for some reason or another. And I think that is a really beautiful way for us to practice what we've been really learning and what we've really been practicing with affirmations. And for all of you who listen to this podcast, I know this is what you are here for. We're all basically what I like to call light workers, and we're all part of the energy exchange, where we're just like in trying to uplift and make the world better in our own way. That's what we're all here to do. And so this is your time to do so in whatever way feels good to you. If that means just taking this time to sit at home and recharge and do nothing productive, that's wonderful. But if this means it's your time to start your side hustle or do something that you've been pushing off, that's amazing as well. And maybe you have a beautiful balance of both. There's literally no right and wrong. And I think that's been my favorite part about all of this, is we're all figuring it out together. And it is a really amazing way to watch the energy shift and notice how something so tiny, something we literally can't even see, can change us so much. And I think to me, that's the biggest takeaway here, is just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. And so we needed that harsh awakening, where we needed a virus to come in and have its effect without us being able to see it. But maybe use this as your evidence that energy is real even though you can't see it. Maybe use this as your evidence that, you know what, vibrations are real. Even if I'm just intending to send healing energy, it's being felt. Even if I'm just intending to give someone some extra love, they're receiving that love. Just because I don't know it and they don't text me doesn't mean it's not real. This is such a testament to energy, and just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's real. And that is such a beautiful thing that I think we're all going to learn and take away from, because it has been so important to me to express that, because I think I can feel energy and I just trust that my energy is powerful. But I think now is the opportunity for so many more people on a mass level to trust that their energy is powerful, their vibrations are being felt, their intentions are being heard, their affirmations are manifesting. I think this is that spiritual awakening that we've all talked about. And I know I talked about it in my 2020 podcast, where it is a whole new paradigm shift. And on a worldwide level, there's been a lot of interesting things happening. And I think a lot of people are making funny memes about, oh my gosh, 2020 is that crazy year. What's going on? But this is basically that mass awakening for all of us that we need. After this, things are not necessarily going to be the same. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that things are going to be different, and we're going to be at a different place where we're supposed to be. In my opinion, we're going to be at a much high vibrational place. I think we're going to be even more united as an entire population. I think there's going to be a lot more love. I think there's going to be a lot more faith in the world. I think people are going to learn how to trust their intuitions and learn how to be at home a little bit more and go inwards and go within and practice their anxiety coping tools and face the fears that they've been avoiding for so long. I think there's so many great things coming out of this. That is why I believe this is happening, because as an entire population, as planet Earth, as who we are right here, I do think we've been ready to make this shift. And sometimes you need something major to happen in order to make a major shift. And I really invite you to re-listen to this episode. I had so so many little examples that I hope resonate with you guys, and as to how this can be a beautiful thing, and maybe why this is happening and why it feels like such a big dramatic thing, but maybe it's actually one of the biggest blessings in disguise. We just don't know it yet. And I have a feeling that in 5, 10, maybe 50 years from now, we're going to look back on this moment and say hindsight is 2020, and this was a beautiful experience for all of us to go through. And yes, it means some bad things happen, some super sad things, some super unfortunate things happen. And I understand that. And I'm not denying that. I'm not being ignorant of that. I think it's just something to acknowledge that there is always going to be a polarity, and showing gratitude, showing acknowledgement, showing your compassion for people who are suffering. So maybe something that if you feel guilty of looking at this in a beautiful way, if you feel shameful that you're feeling calm and positive about this whole situation, maybe you can extend that forward to someone in need. Maybe donate to your favorite charity. Maybe support your favorite small business. I could use some support. Maybe you can give to somebody who's a healthcare worker, or write a thank you letter to the grocery store clerk. I mean, they're all still working. And maybe you can donate some money to somebody in need. Connect with people and check in on them and say, hey, are you financially okay? That is something you can do if you do feel that guilt, because I understand you guys are such empathetic people. I know it. I'm right there with you. And you're not wrong. You're not being judged for looking at this in a beautiful way. But if it makes you feel better, maybe share and spread that compassion forward, and don't keep it within yourself. Maybe spread it to somebody else and show them the light, and show them how your beautiful thought process might even influence and uplift their thought process if they're suffering. You can do that. You literally have that power to do so. And I really think this is a true time to step up to the plate and share your power. Share your love, share your light. This isn't your time to play small. This isn't your time to pretend like you don't have anything valuable. This is your time to shine. This is your time to be that ray of light for somebody else who might not have it right now. So I really invite you to step up. You have so much power within you. You literally can change the way of the world right now just by using your words. And I will always stick by that, because I've seen it so much in my life, especially in healthcare scenarios, that affirmations, energies, vibration, energy, it works, and it's so real, and it can heal and change so many things if we allow it to, and if we let it happen. And so I really invite you to use your words, to use your energy to change it and manifest the thing that you want happening. If that means that this virus is eradicated, I suggest that you stop talking about it and start talking about what you would rather have happen. It's something as simple as using the words that you want to focus on, and avoid using the words coronavirus and COVID-19. Avoid using those words and reaffirming those, and start talking about what you want. You want good health for everybody. You want people to be happy. You wish for everybody who is maybe feeling less financially abundant to receive unexpected abundance. That's what you can affirm for, rather than discussing what's going on and how crazy and how surreal it is, because I get it. I know it's so tempting to talk about it, to read the news, to complain about it, to sink into that fear-based, but we are so much stronger than that. We're above that. And one thing that's really resonated with me is just remember that the more we talk about it, the more we allow it, the more we accept it, the more we're really making space for that virus to stay with us. So if you kind of reject it and say, hey, you're not welcome here, and allow it to leave, if we have that power and we allow us to have more power over this, that's when it'll start going away. We are not kind of victims to this. Don't let yourself fall short. Don't let yourself be smaller than this. Your energy is so much bigger than this. Your energy is so much stronger than whatever is going on. That let yourself feel strong enough, let yourself feel worthy enough to talk down to the virus. Let yourself be like, hey, you don't need to be here. I reject you. You are allowed to leave. Let yourself be strong enough, even though it feels silly, even though your friends might not agree with you, or your family might think you're just being ignorant. If that resonates with you, don't be shy to do it, because that stuff works. I've seen it in so many life-threatening situations with my clients, with my own family, that I know anything with our bodies, anything with our health, it's in our hands. It's not in anybody else's hands, no matter what people say, no matter what the news says. So I really invite you to let your inner child, let your higher self come together as one, express, release, and affirm, and truly, truly take power back rather than giving your power away, rather than feeling helpless and feeling fear and just feeling like, okay, whenever this happens, it happens. Let yourself create the course of reality rather than the other way around. I promise you, you have that power, and I hope you recognize it today. And in the meanwhile, as all this is going on, I have been posting a lot of resources. I have so much stuff on my page, and if you need anything at all, please reach out to me. I am here for you, and I will be relaunching some of my courses and efforts to just help you guys out and give you things basically to do and to grow and to invest in and elevate yourself to a whole nother level. And all I really want to do is just help you and serve you and show you all the power you have within you. And so I really hope you have a beautiful day ahead. I hope this little message was helpful. I hope our little heart-to-heart conversation was helpful for you. And I absolutely love you and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I will talk to you super soon. Mwah. Bye. So, how did you like today's episode? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed recording it. And before you leave, I wanted to just say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for spending some time with me. If this episode or any of my content has ever inspired you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could leave a review in the iTunes podcast app and just share this with someone you care about. The more you guys leave reviews and share this with people, the more I am able to create more content for you, and that's what fuels me and keeps me going. I am so genuinely grateful for the time we shared today, and until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and lots of healing energy. Bye!